Wild Willie here. If we think about the life and the energies of the life, you know, we we can't just be in balance with our own energies. We kind of have to be in balance with the life force energies all around us and the world around us. The journey from delusion, addiction to recovery, it kind of goes along that path. Maybe initially your energies are not in line inside, and then maybe they become aligned inside, but maybe they're not aligned on the outside. So we're going to use an example to look at this. This is my pseudo self. So if you think about the great wildebeest migration, all the wildebeest in Africa or wherever, Tanzania or the Congo or the Serengeti or wherever they live, I don't know. They all come together and they all do this migration. They're all together. They're in a big herd, huge herd. And they're going to the seasonal, marshland that arises. And it brings all this grass, and brings all this water. And they're going there to eat the food, right? So, but if you take one wildebeest, and he decides he's going to head this way, and everybody else is going that way. His energies aren't in line with the life and the flow of the life. He's not in a balance. And there's two energies, there's yin and yang, and the yin and the yang energies in our lives are force and direction. If you're going to go anywhere, one, you need to have the direction and you need to have the force to take you in that direction. Those are the two energies. Force being yang, direction being yin. So he's got force and direction. He's going that way. But he's not balanced with the life, because the herd is going this way. And we don't exist independent of the life. We don't exist independently from the people in our lives. Like, we are an interdependent part of all the systems in the life. So we have to balance ourselves with them. So maybe his energy's balanced, but he's going to get lost. He's going the wrong way. And, there's a Bible parable. There's a parable in the New Testament of the Bible that's very cool. It's Jesus as the shepherd and the lost sheep. So there's the flock of sheep. Jesus is the shepherd, and the flock of sheep is us, right? And the one sheep runs away. There's one sheep, and he runs away from the herd. He's kind of like this first wildebeest. And so, Jesus will leave, I think they say 99, leave the 99, and he'll go get the one. So that tells us three different things. The parable tells us three different things that is applicable to the metaphor I'm using of the wildebeest. The first thing it tells us is that one sheep, he ain't going to find his way back. Not by himself. Nope. The second thing it tells us is that one sheep, he's really important. He is really important. Jesus is leaving the 99 to go and get him. He matters. Even though he's got 99 other sheep, he's just leaving out there vulnerable, unprotected. Right? A wolf could come in any time and attack the herd. Not Jesus. He's going to get the one sheep. And then the third thing, though, it tells us is that the one sheep is important, and Jesus is going to leave, as the shepherd, is going to leave the main herd to go get the one sheep. It tells us that the herd is safe. It tells us that the herd is safe. So that parable is really interesting because it tells us those three things. That the one sheep ain't finding his way back. He is important, and the herd is safe when the shepherd leaves to go get the one sheep. So in this instance of the wildebeest, he's not finding his way back. He's gone, man. He's going the wrong way. He may get eaten. All right, so maybe one wildebeest decides to just sit down and eat. He decides this is where the migration ends. The herd keeps going, and he stops moving. His energies are no longer imbalanced. Maybe whereas the other one, or maybe they're more leaning towards an overbalance of yin energy, whereas the one that ran off, his energies are over yang or whatever. They're not imbalanced because he's not balanced them with the whole picture. You see, so the herd keeps moving. Maybe he'll find the tracks, come along, but he's isolated from the herd, right? Because the herd is safe. Every wildebeest is important. And if they stray away by their own, they're not coming back. Something's going to help them, you see? So we start to see this. So, and in the recovery journey, in my own personal experience, the recovery journey, spiritual journey, going from delusion to drug addiction, to trying to live in the life as a member of society. When I have been in active addiction or when I was acting under delusion, like I'm going to do this thing, it's totally not real, it's crazy, you're not going to do that thing, I'm going the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way from the herd. My energies were not balanced in relation to my life around me. Like I was not working to balance the organism that is people, humanity, right? So, but maybe some forces in my life, maybe some insights, some wisdoms, experience, helped to turn me around. Helped to turn me around and guide me back to the direction of the herd. Okay, that's God. That's Jesus, right? He's working. He's working in my life. Maybe you don't see him. He's working in your life. There's a force greater than me that designed all this stuff. I don't know. I didn't design this stuff. I designed my own stuff, and then I have to deal with it later. But anyways, these things happen. They change the direction. They're guiding the wildebeest back to the herd. So as the wildebeest comes back to the herd, he's moving in the opposite direction. He's moving direction towards the herd, right? So in the herd, the safest place in a herd of animals, is the inside of the herd. They keep the young, they keep the old, the vulnerable. Maybe they leave the old on the outside. They let them get eaten. I don't know. But they keep the vulnerable and on the inside. That's the safest place because all the members of the body of the herd are out there protecting all the ones inside. So if predators come, they pick off the ones on the fringe, the edges, right? So that tells us another thing, separate from the parable, but inherent in this metaphor. Now, when we go in a direction counter to the herd, we're going in a dangerous direction. We're going in a dangerous direction. But if we go in a direction towards the herd, we're going to join the herd. If we keep going in the direction of the herd and we make it to the center of the herd, that's the safest place to be. You see what I'm saying? So in life, we don't exist independent from the situations and the people around us. Okay? We don't. And if we want to balance our energies, our force, and our direction, right? Sometimes we have to look at the direction people are moving in. I'm not saying conform to every situation in your life. I'm not saying repress. I'm not saying force. I don't use those words to guide a person. But in a recovery journey, in a spiritual growth journey, in a spiritual evolution journey, seeing what's out there, luckily getting brought back, seeing what's in there. I mean, it's really all about knowing, experiencing, seeing, figuring out for yourself, So, but at a certain point, just go right into that herd, man. Get in there. And that will ultimately, if you're living in addiction or you're living in chaos or, there's all types of addiction. It doesn't necessarily need to be substances, People can create chaos and havoc with anything, really, and drama. I mean, ultimately, that's all out here. You just get in the herd, you just find your spot, make it to those clean, fresh waters or whatever, and feast. It's pretty simple, you know? And then all that other stuff kind of falls away. That kind of falls away. So, and that's really when we're living in line with the world, with the life. Not necessarily our world or our life, you know? It's kind of like the bigger picture of the life. So anyways, I had been thinking about that for some time, and I wanted to share it with you. Wild Willie, a little bit out of character here. But until next time, hope you enjoyed.